So share the gospel attitudes. Always have the picture of Jesus in your mind when he said it is finished and when he paid the price. And from the onset of the cross, keep telling men that their sins are forgiven them. The more you preach it and they receive it, miracles will happen. Miracles will happen. Because if we don't teach the gospel as it should, we automatically program men back to the fall to try to be responsible for their sins. And what happened? They die in it. Anytime man try to take responsibility for things he did not cause, it kills him. The same thing has to do with the sin issue. Anytime, even as a person, you try to condemn yourself when you go wrong, it kills you. You die slowly. So today there are a lot of people, young people in denominations, they don't have interest in the church. Not because they are doing something wrong, because what is being shared there is not the word. It is not the gospel. There are principles when it comes to other things such as character, when it comes to finance and other things. I'm not denying that, but we should not bring these things amidst the gospel. As a student of quantum science and other philosophy and a lot of things, I understand the responsibility, the energy that you have to create. I understand some responsibilities such as exercise, being up and doing, taking care of yourself, doing the right thing, going to the right place, choosing the right association. They are all good, but that is not the gospel. They are principle living. Okay, they are standards for a healthy life, but that is not the gospel. The gospel breaks every barrier. It has no limit by science, no limit by technology, no limit by finance, no limit by culture, no limit by anything. The gospel is the end to weaknesses. We teach principles and things because we acknowledge weaknesses. The gospel does not acknowledge weaknesses. It brings the divinity of God and make it available and possible in humanity, because that is who we are. The problem is we have been fed much of principles, and like Paul said, that the infirmity of your flesh, we have lived much in the world. So it appears to us that the gospel is something new. The problem of the human race is that man didn't have offsprings or couldn't create his own version and transmitted the unadulterated knowledge of God to them until the fall. Get this. Adam and Eve were living a different life, which their offsprings, if they were permitted to understand that life, even if after the fall, the world would have been different. But Adam and Eve, unlike the angels, could not produce an offspring or could not create like themselves to relate with God like they did until they fell. And when they fell, they lost touch to that divine unction that helps them to tap into the realm of God, to comprehend what makes them who they are. So they fell to their senses, and that is when education started. They begin to educate themselves and their offspring according to the weaknesses around them. And this is what gave birth to laws, principles, and codes of conduct, and all these relationships, psychology, science, metaphysics, and all these things that we teach, that hey, as soon as you're dealing with another human being, you have to take care of this. But I'm telling you that the gospel came to take away those burdens, to crush all such weaknesses. But as we are in the world of sin, you should be smart, because not everyone has faith. Like Paul said, not everyone believes and acquaint their life according to the gospel truth we preach. So you should be armed with such wisdom in dealing with your fellow man.